Alright, let's review this particular stage of body mechanics exercise number 2. We are at the stage of splining, and this is a very critical thing for all the learners when they have to shift from blocking plus to splining. It looks like hell for them, because whatever they had achieved in blocking plus, whatever meaningful, whatever satisfying movements they could see in blocking plus, they all seem to get lost when they start splining. So we are trying to figure it out. We have done some preliminary work. When we start splining, we have to do some initial things like cleaning the graphs of all the controllers, starting from the core, which we have already covered. We have tried to achieve this. After that, we still find that the movement are meaningless. It's floaty and there are a hell lot of things in that. So after cleaning thing and also sorting some big mistakes like foot going under the floor or such kind of things, after solving those, we try to get to the next level. This next level starts becoming more difficult because you have now almost done all the cleaning. So at the moment you have a spline, you have done all the graph cleaning, still you don't find anything near to what you have done in blocking plus. After that, the struggle starts. Let's see, in this particular thing you are trying to correct, go to the next levels. So let's first review what was there in blocking plus and what is there now in splining. Let's have a look and then we'll proceed. Okay. So this animation is of that a person is going and he's hit on his forehead by some lever kind of thing. The person puts his foot on some pole which is behaving like a lever. So it hits on the forehead and the person gets imbalanced and ultimately falls down. So let's play it once more. Sorry. Alright, so if we watch this in the splined version, let's have a look what's happening. We can easily make out that there is a lot of floatiness. Still the movements are not having that snap, that weight, that meaning, which to some extent we had achieved in blocking plus. So what we discussed is that when we are trying to tackle this splining stage, we follow few steps. So in first step, we cleaned all the graphs. Then on the step 2, we tried to correct the very easily visible faults like foot going under the foot going under the floor, these kind of things. Now for the next step, third step, we have learned that exercise of switching our eye, switching our point of view. Now for the third step, we have learned the exercise of switching our eye, switching our point of view, in which we have learned that there is something called gesture of movement, gesture of animation. Like there is gesture of any pose, there is a gesture of a movement. So every movement has got some meaning, some expression. What we need to do now is, within the blocking plus stage, we try to see that gesture. Like within that blocking plus, we are able to see the movement, the animation that we want. Our eye and brain can make out the final animation within that blocky stage. So what we try to do is, we try to identify that gesture and try to find that gesture in the spline stage. So we are not looking at the details, we are trying to see the meaning, the expression of movement in blocking plus, and then we try to find it in splining. With that type of eye, you can easily make out that what are the faults, are they matching or not. So when students get to a type of mental block that they are unable to see in splining stage that what to do, that everything seems to be okay but still not okay. So this is what you need to do. You look for your answers in Blocking Plus. In Blocking Plus you will see the final animation. You see that and then shift to spline stage and see that is it the same? Are the two same? Are they doing the same thing? Are the two guys thinking the same thing? If you see this one, see, this is blocking stage. The person is with a snap, with some kind of weight going and falling. And what do you see here? That snap, that weight, that thing seems to be gone, lost. So once you have identified, now the problem comes how to solve it. It looks too cumbersome to a student. There are so many controllers and it looks impossible that how to handle all those. And even if you have found out that okay, this is the gesture and this is what I need and I want to put it in a spline stage, but how to do it when there are so many controllers out there, huh? Okay, in that case, what approach we are following is that first target only the root control. Root control is the pelvis. So first target only the pelvis, follow only the pelvis and try to give that believable motion only to the pelvis controller. So you find that movement in the Blocking Plus, and when you are trying to repaint it in spline stage, first target only the pelvis. So let's look only pelvis for a moment. If you just follow the path of pelvis, you will find that there is a lot of unbelievable things going on in pelvis. So now, as part of this review, this is the target of this particular review, that you have already tried to correct the pelvis portion and you need reviews on that is it okay or not. You have already from your side done, you tried to find out the gesture in Blocking Plus as much as you could, and now you are trying to get some reviews that I'm done. Now we are going to talk about the nuances, what all is left in the journey of pelvis. Only pelvis. We are not going to see anything else. We know the upper body is right now totally untouched and it's totally muddy and not treated. So you have treated from your side the pelvis, and we are going to talk about pelvis only. All right, let's start. Okay, let's play it. Okay, what we notice is that this guy is moving and then it's somewhere here hit on the head, although we don't see that snap so prominently. We will correct that also. After that, the guy gets imbalanced towards his right and trying to balance himself while that person is falling on the right side. While trying to balance it, he further gets imbalanced towards his left. When he catches his body on the right side, then he gets imbalanced towards the left side, like he's falling towards left side, because in a way he has lost his control. His brain has lost control on his body, so his body is first falling on one side, so somehow he caught it, and then the body is falling on the other side. Then again he caught it with his legs. He tried to save it from falling by taking steps with his legs, and then again he catches on his left side, and then he again moves towards right, getting imbalanced, falling towards right, and he is falling, and he finds it difficult to balance when he turns towards this side and falls. This is the basic meaning of this movement. Now let's follow the journey of pelvis and try to see if everything is going good or not. Okay, these are the first steps. Okay, we are okay with that for now. After that, the person is hit on the head. The person should be getting imbalanced on the right side. First of all, what we feel is, we don't feel that after hitting he is just falling towards right. If I play it, you just notice the way the pelvis has moved towards the right direction. It gives me slight feeling that as if the pelvis has been pulled towards the right. It still gives that feeling, although it was more in the earlier submission and we have already corrected to some extent. We have to make it more slowing out, more subtle, so that it looks like that the person is falling. It should not look like that he is forcibly moving his pelvis or the pelvis is being pulled on the right side. It should look that as if it's just falling naturally. So better slow out. Now understand what's happening to the pelvis. The pelvis is falling on the right and the legs are trying to stop it by, in a way, overtaking the pelvis and applying brakes to the pelvis on the right side so that the pelvis cushions into the legs. It's type of slow in of the pelvis on the right extreme. I hope you are getting it. Right? Now, after understanding what I've just said, you try to figure out that is it what is happening? If I go frame by frame, when it starts falling, now just see, next. Do you think it's going like that? I don't think so. See, if it's going out, slow out, why it suddenly stopped here? Rather, it went back. You see that it went back and then again went back. I don't see that feeling that the pelvis with the weight is moving towards right and the legs are trying to stop it on the extreme. So what it should have been, on the right extreme, I should have seen when his left leg touches here, we should see the pelvis now slowing in, because with the support of this particular leg here, with the support of this particular foot and leg here, now is when we have got the arrangement to stop the pelvis. So we should be seeing the pelvis moving here when the foot is on the floor planted. Now we should be seeing the pelvis slowly moving on this to this direction and slowing in. So we get the feeling of like slowing in. So it was moving and it has been caught by the leg here. So we could also see some kind of bending of the leg, of the left leg, of this leg, bending of this leg, so that we see that okay, the weight has been stopped. So there should be some cushioning, so there should be some spring-like thing. When the pelvis was moving towards this direction, at this extreme, we should feel that this particular leg has stopped. This particular leg has stopped this pelvis from moving. Alright, so this is the one basic thing that's happening, and it's not going that seamlessly towards the right direction. It's just moving and going back. I don't know why. Like, it's going and moving back, and why this is happening. Second thing, When it started falling on the right direction, just notice the foot. What the hell is happening to the foot? Just see. When it's moving, see here. Now the body wants to fall towards the right direction. What's happening? It's moving, it's moving. Now suddenly the right foot is airborne. Left foot is sliding and right foot is airborne. So maybe it was some kind of jump, but we don't feel a reason for the jump. I mean, there is no cause created for the jump. So if there was supposed to be a jump, so the eye needs some kind of anticipation or something like that. So I mean, this particular jump is unnatural. It's moving towards right, so it's doing this. I don't know what's this. Another rule in animation is simplification. If you think that this detail is difficult to handle, you just avoid this detail. So it will be just a simple fall towards right without the small jump, and the pelvis just falling when your left leg catches. So we get a very good slow out motion of the pelvis towards right when the left leg crosses and catches the floor, and then tries to stop the pelvis by applying brakes, right? So if you get a good slow in here, and then the body is falling then towards this direction, so it will be again a slow out. So after this extreme of pelvis, there will be a slow out towards this direction, because the body although got stopped, but now this person is in imbalanced state, so now the person is falling towards his left. So the pelvis races towards his left. Now again we would need a very uninterrupted type of motion of pelvis towards his left, because after that it is falling towards his left. So it should keep on falling towards his left until again his right leg, this leg, crosses and plants his foot on the floor with the purpose of applying brakes to the falling body. The body was falling towards the left, now in the opposite direction, and now again the same mechanics is getting applied. Now the right foot is coming to save the body from falling. So know the reason of movement, only then you can repaint the pelvis motion. So the pelvis is falling towards the left, so I should be able to see a seamless movement of the pelvis towards left. Now what I see is that the right foot is not even properly planted, and the pelvis is already under control and is going back. So what is the reason of, it doesn't satisfy us, rather it's going back. On this particular frame it looks like that this pelvis is going back, see, back, and then again going there. So there is interrupted type of motion of pelvis towards left to right and right to left. It should be falling. It should be falling from his left to right and then right to left, with up and down motions caused by the steps. That's not difficult to put. So I should get again this foot catching the floor and then trying to stop the pelvis. So again it will be very enjoyable to have the pelvis slow into his right leg, cushioning into his right leg. So it will again be a spring-like movement, getting into the right leg and then going out. And this is a very important portion, which this gives you a chance to prove the gravity, the weight. Why? Because now the pelvis is again falling towards the right, and the left leg has a challenge to get back to this floor before it gets too late. Because at the moment the left leg is too far from destination. This left leg is too far from the destination. This is the destination, and there is very small time because he's almost falling at an angle. So we should see a good hit of the left foot, because otherwise this person is going to fall. That is why at this point this character looks most floaty. You don't notice it? So this is the portion when it looks too floaty. Because of this reason, we see this character is giving an impression that as if he is on moon right now. You don't see that urgency in the left foot to hit down to save his body, and at that time we feel that his upper body is supported by some unnatural powers, that it's not falling. See, it looks like almost slow motion, this one, although I'm not playing in slow motion. This looks like slow motion. So we should feel the pelvis when it was saved by his right leg here, saved by his right leg here, and the whole body weight cushioned into his right leg, slowed in. Now it should again slow out to fall under gravity. We should feel the fall from this point to this point. We don't see it. You notice the pelvis? It's almost pinned there. It's almost pinned there. If we say it here starts slowing out, but it's not increasing its spacing. See, till the moment the foot touches, till that time I find the motion of pelvis almost linear. There is no slow out in it. There is no reason why the pelvis is not slowing out like we see it in bouncing ball. So it should be slowing out until the foot touches, or you make the foot touch early to save it. The moment the foot touches, now that foot, this particular foot and leg will cause break again, will cause this pelvis to start stopping. So there will be slow in, but the slow in the pelvis will not start unless the foot and leg is in place. Before that, pelvis should be falling under gravity, showing a slow out. So we should get a very good slow in here, and then slow out. And as far as his left to right motion is concerned, now this guy is falling towards his right. So we should find a shooting movement towards right. See, this fall should be so strong. This fall should be so strong. The movement should be so strong, or maybe fast, of this pelvis, that is causing this fainting man to take these 2 steps. At the moment it looks like that after this step, this man got some energy, to take 1 step. And look at this unnatural movement from here. What he is doing? How can he do this? here his right foot is not yet placed, and his left foot is kind of airborne, and then both are sliding, and then from this frame this person is gaining height with some supernatural power. So is gaining height with some supernatural powers. How can a character move like this without any reason? How can a pelvis go from this position to this position? Getting my point? What can cause this movement? His left leg should have been supporting for this particular rise in his pelvis from this position to this position. And what I was mentioning earlier, that this fall should be so strong, should be slowing out, and should be so strong that can cause these two steps. That is why to stop himself from falling in this direction, this person has to take 1, 2, 3 steps. But right now we feel that the person is already under balance here. His pelvis looks like totally under control of this leg here. This leg is able to stop, but with some unnatural powers this particular pelvis has moved up. So either it should be very high speed coming from this extreme, or you find out some reasons. There should be some reason. It should be from the left side, the pelvis should be moving and falling towards right, and the legs should be trying to catch it so that it doesn't fall. So here should be the catching point. Again, here should be a type of, again, slow in so that the pelvis looks like cushioned into the leg. No, not that. It is this point. Okay, sorry. This should be the point where we should feel like that here the pelvis has been slowed in by this leg. The way it has been slowed in here, I think it should fall like this, because I don't find this whole body under control of this leg. Either the body should have been somewhere here where we could feel that okay, now it's under control, somewhere here or something like this, because I don't find the weight, because the weight is overshooting the leg, the foot, so it should fall. See, it has stopped with some unnatural powers here, so it should have fell down in this direction. So but actually what we were trying to make is that the character has been stopped by legs here, but this time it gets imbalanced towards the camera, towards you, and ultimately falls like this. And this fall is too unnatural. The pelvis is here, and the pelvis from here, how it's moving from this particular position to this particular position, with what powers it is coming back. There's no force I can see that with which help it's moving here. So if it was to hit here under gravity, it should have been somewhere here, which is also what we wanted when we were discussing about his fall towards this direction. So avoid this fall, the pelvis should have been somewhere here, and to justice to landing here, again the position should have been here. So this should be the position, not this. I hope this gives some idea. We could have reviewed it from the left side also, but from the front view the reviews are more prominent, and what small reviews are there in the from the side view, I think you can understand it automatically after understanding the approach that we followed from front. All right, all the best.